Welcome to Blanket Fort Books. This is Gabe, and we are going to have a discussion today.
Yep, this is Whitney.
And this is Rachel preparing for this discussion.
That was an interesting intro.
Yes, it was.
Sounds like you're on the news. So, what do we have in the news today for Blanket Fort Books, Whitney?
So today is a very exciting episode. We are going to be discussing Will Ferrell movies. So we each watched a different Will Ferrell movie. It's a surprise to the others, and we're going to discuss what we thought of them.
But question, Whitney, why Will Ferrell?
Why not Will Ferrell?
That's exactly it. We had zero reason behind picking Will Ferrell. But first, before we get into our Will Ferrell experience, which is personally my favorite experience to be in, what are we into this week? Gabe, what are you into this week?
So what I was into this week, I had seen A Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time. I'd never seen it. It was actually playing at the theater.
You went to a theater?
Yeah.
Cool.
With social distancing measures and everything.
Like which theater?
Just the one.
Like a classic one. Cool.
No. Just like
movie theater?
Cineplex.
Oh, I pictured something more romantic. Never mind.
No, I went with my mom.
That's not what I meant.
We both
Okay.
hadn't seen it, but I was,
Who's in that?
Freddy Krueger.
yeah, Freddy Krueger. I don't know
I
the
don't know who
actual
plays him.
actors, and I think that was Johnny Depp's first movie, though.
Okay, that's what I was
he
thinking.
was an infant.
Infant
He
He
child.
was BB.
Yeah, he was BB. There were also a lot of other BBs in that movie that I don't really know.
By the way, BB is baby.
Yeah. It was pretty good. Like it was, kind of just cheesy, but it looked really good to see an 80s movie on the big screen. And also I was even like the low budget special effects for the time were like really memorable and still disgusting and completely creative and horrifying, which led it to be very impressive. Wes Craven, who directed it, moved on to make the Scream movies, so I can't
Those are my
wait
favorite.
to see
I love Scream so much.
what he got up to. There's apparently like 6 more Nightmare on Elm Street movies that are apparently not so good. The first one was good.
Cool.
That's awesome.
All right, Whitney, what are you into this week?
Okay, I am very excited to discuss what I watched, especially with Gabe.
Okay.
Gabe, do you remember when I texted you at like 3 a.m. and I was like, I just watched the most horrifying thing that it made me cry, and not in a sad way. It was just so disturbing.
Oh yeah, you did say that. I was wondering if that might have been your Will Ferrell movie.
No, I watched Midsummer.
Oh, you did? Well,
I did.
I actually had suspected that, didn't I?
Yes, and it was horrifying. So it's by the same director as Hereditary, but it is like above and beyond in terms of like disturbing.
Wait, how? I didn't expect that. I thought it could have just been around the same.
It's similar, but it's worse. I had a worse reaction to it, probably because I watched it by myself at like 2 a.m. and then I did not sleep until 7.
I would have watched
No.
it on a sunny
But
day.
it was so it's about a cult in Sweden, and it stars Florence Pugh, and like I am obsessed with her, I just have to say. But it's all it's a very bright movie. It all takes place in daylight. It is like beautiful scenery, and then the most gruesome, disgusting things happen out of nowhere, but like in daylight, and it's so alarming. It just like catches you off guard. I spoiled the ending for Rachel. I'm not going to say anything, but I spoiled the ending for her, and it's a very disturbing.
I forget what you said already.
Okay, well, I'm not going to repeat it, but I'll tell
I
you
have
later.
very short-term memory.
But it's so bad. Like it was Mother levels, and Mother messed me up for a long time after I saw that movie.
All I know is that there are flowers in that movie, and it's in broad daylight, and everyone's crying, and I don't know why.
It is so beautiful. It is like probably the most beautiful movie I've ever seen, and like the aesthetic and the flowers and the white robes, and oh my God, but it was so weird.
I don't even know. Like, I don't know what to expect from that movie.
You have to watch it.
Was it Suspiria?
Kind of. Not really. Not as pretentious, in my opinion.
I feel like you probably just can't share any details without spoiling the movie, can you?
No, I can't really tell you any of the disturbing parts without spoiling everything. But I think you should watch it. There are no jump scares, so you'll be fine. But it's disturbing. That's all I have to say. And if anyone has seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, now I want to watch it.
You definitely should. I won't watch it again.
Are
so
you
don't look at
sure?
me.
I don't think Rachel should watch Hereditary.
We watched Beetlejuice and Rachel was fine.
It was great. I loved Beetlejuice.
We also watched The Exorcist last night at like 1 a.m.
That was pretty chill.
Yeah. Anyway, Rachel, what are you into?
I have been super into, other podcasts because I'm just discovering this podcast world. I've been listening to Sawbones, which was a recommendation from yourself.
Yes.
It is so good. I listen to on average at least 4 episodes a day. And Gabe, I don't think have you listened to Sawbones ever?
No, I don't know what it is.
It is a marital tour of misguided medicine.
What?
I love that so much.
So it's a husband and wife. The husband is not a doctor at all, but the wife is. And they just discuss different medical practices throughout history and how messed up they were, and then kind of compare it to what's going on today. So it's the husband is quite funny, and they make a great team. And they talked about the history of, the lobotomy, which I learned things I didn't want to know. I've learned about the Black Plague in great detail. Apparently it came from fleas that were on rats.
Gross.
Yeah, so that's how that happened. And anyway, yeah, it's just really interesting. It holds my attention, and I love them.
That sounds like a good listen.
Yeah, you should listen.
Yeah, it is. It is a really good podcast.
Yeah, and there's so many episodes coming into it this late in the game. There's like 300 that I've yet to listen to.
Oh my gosh. I'll have to take up like knitting or something so I can do something.
Yes.
Can
and
you
listen.
knit me something?
Oh, I don't know. I was just using that as an example.
No,
I don't
you're
really
gonna-
want to knit.
Can you
You
knit
have
my
to knit
cat
me things.
sweaters?
Wait, did you just ask me to make cat sweaters?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
no, that sounds too hard. I don't want to.
Damn. Okay.
So now is the big reveal of what movies we all watched, and I will go first.
Yes, I'm
because-
so excited.
Me too. And I was also kind of worried that even though we confirmed by the date of release and by whether or not there was a sequel to these movies, I was still a little bit worried that we were one of us at least, we're going to pick the same movies. So, although my movie has 2 release dates, one in 2004 and one in 2005,
Interesting.
I chose Melinda.
I don't know this one.
Me neither.
Neither did I. It was directed by Woody Allen. Did not know that till after.
Hard pass on that one.
But I really like Woody Allen movies, unfortunately. I'm sorry. And so,
I mean, yeah, I was pretty obsessed with Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
right?
Not gonna lie.
So I loved this movie. It was actually really good. Will Ferrell was in it, which is, of course, why I chose it. Steve Carell also.
Ooh,
Yeah.
a great pairing.
And they actually both did not have a very big role,
Really?
but they were in it.
Okay.
They were in it continuously, but they were not the main attractions. Also, Amanda Peet, Chloe Sevigny. Do you know?
Oh, yeah, I know her.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say her last name either.
I'm gonna go with that. Wallace Shawn, somebody else who was, Shiovatel Ejiofor. I don't know. I'm sorry if you're listening to this podcast and I butchered your name. But yeah, one of my favorite names that I found, Radha Mitchell, who was the main character.
Oh my God, I know her.
Who was Melinda. Her full name is Radha Rani Amber Indigo Ananda Mitchell.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She's great.
Anyway, that had nothing to do with the movie. She just has a really long name.
That's a really great name.
So the premise of this whole movie is that it starts out with 4 writers, I think, 2 of which are debating which is better, tragedy or comedy. And so to have this debate, they start telling a story, but it's the same story. One interprets it as a comedy, That's the Will Ferrell side of things. And one interprets it as a tragedy. But it's the same premise for both stories because it's the same people. It's kind of confusing because 1 minute they're in like one story and it's certain people, and then it flips over to like the tragedy part, and the same Melinda, because it's Melinda. There's two Melindas, sad and funny Melinda. She looks a little bit different, and then everybody else who's like around her in the story looks like similar enough to the other actresses and actors, but they're not. And I got really confused.
Whoa.
Anyway, that was just me not being able to follow a plot for a while, but it was actually really good.
It sounds interesting, actually.
I do recommend this movie. Ooh. It was, it had good music in it. I did like the music. And a lot of familiar faces. People that I might not necessarily know their names, but I know their faces enough to be like, hey, it's that guy. So yeah.
I love when that happens.
Anyway, it was pretty good. Yeah, I do recommend.
Yeah, that sounds really good. That's a very interesting choice. It's not one of his more well-known ones.
Well, I've seen all his well-known ones because I love Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I mean, I picked Elf, so I'm just kidding. But
I love Elf. I really just wanted to lie and say, oh, I've never watched Blades of Glory. Sailing across the sky high on a blaze of glory, setting fire to the eyes. Okay, I've watched it a lot, so love that movie too. But yeah, Melinda, either released in 04 or 05. I recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was released on like December 31st at 11:59.
And you were like, what do we go with? Well, I think it's in different countries. Like, one article I read, it was like, it was released in the U.S. in 04. And then another one was like, no, it was released in the U.S. in 05. It was released in this other weird country in a different year.
Maybe it's a Mandela effect.
Maybe. Anyway, so that's mine. There wasn't really a lot of plot to review, and I don't want to go into too much detail because I will spoil it.
Well, that sounds very good, and I will have to check that out.
I recommend. I would even watch it again because now that I know the premise, I can follow it a little better the second time.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Gabe? What did you watch?
Okay, so the movie that I chose that I only disclosed to you came out in an odd number before 2009, and it has a sequel. And the answer to that is I watched Zoolander. And Ben Stiller actually is the main character in Zoolander, and the movie was also directed by Ben Stiller.
I don't like Ben Stiller.
You don't?
No, me neither.
He's okay. I don't mind him. In this movie, if you don't like Ben Stiller, then you'd certainly get a pretty overwhelming dosage of him. Will Ferrell plays the main antagonist in this movie. If you don't know what Zoolander is about, basically Derek Zoolander is the stupidest male model of all time. And it's a very Blades of Glory-esque film. It's very much like an early 2000s cartoony comedy that I feel like had I seen it closer to when it came out, like at any time, even if I was just like way too young to watch it, I would have had some sort of nostalgic attachment to it, which I'm sure a lot of people did. It was almost like, I really feel like I would have thought this was amazing when I was like 13.
Does it have anything to do with the zoo?
No, that's just his last name.
It's misleading.
I've never seen it. I don't know anything about it. Doesn't he wear a lot of zebra print? Or like something glittery?
No, well, maybe like all I remember is that at one point he gives himself a wedgie and he's wearing like tiger print underwear.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know why I would know that.
So but here's the thing. So basically he's a really stupid male model, but he's very successful. So Will Ferrell plays, I forget what his name is, but he's the main antagonist in this movie. And it opens with a secret like meeting in like a warehouse that's supposed to be like, ooh, scary, like mafia meeting. But what it really is it's like all the biggest fashion designers in the industry. And they're all conspiring because a new Prime Minister of Malaysia had just been elected, and he has advocated for the workers who make all of their clothing to get paid higher wages. So in this warehouse of all the biggest fashion designers, they're all like, we can't stand for this. How are we going to get all our cheap labor now? And that's like the first thing you see. So basically, Will Ferrell's character is tasked with finding an impressionable idiot who will get close to the new Malaysian prime minister to assassinate him. So
Whoa.
Will Ferrell comes across Derek Zoolander at an award show where he's basically facing off with his rival Hansel, who is played by Owen Wilson.
Oh my gosh.
His rival male model is Owen Wilson.
Night at the museum.
They're basically both up for this male model award of the year, and Hansel wins, but Zoolander still goes up on stage and makes a fool of himself. So that convinces Will Ferrell that this is the impressionable idiot they need to assassinate the Prime Minister of Malaysia. So using his trusted companion, who is like a Russian model, but also assassin, played by Mila Jovovich from the Resident Evil movies, with a hilarious Russian accent and hilarious facial expressions, basically, they brainwash him, or at least try to assassinate the Prime Minister of Malaysia when he comes over to the United States to see them all at a fashion show. And along the way, there's so many comedic sequences that I personally wish that they were even funnier than they actually ended up being. I think if I was 13, it would have been enough for me. But nowadays it was kind of like, it was just kind of like, ha 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 ha. That's really silly. It was like a lot of what the movie was. It was just really
That was
silly.
so silly.
Oh yeah, and it was, and there was like cameos from everybody in this movie. Like
I love that.
They deliberately made, like, the first 5 minutes of the movie, Donald Trump and Melania Trump are like being interviewed at a red carpet event, like a fake red carpet event. Being like, they're like, oh, we're so excited to see Zoolander and everything. And they interview a bunch of other celebrities like Lil Kim, and Gwen Stefani sits next to Owen Wilson in the audience at the award show. And
I love that.
It's really funny to watch, even just for the cameos, because like this movie's from 2001. So seeing all of these young celebrities back then, because these would have been like the huge names of 2001, like equally mind blowing today, at least for me. I definitely enjoyed the film. There was, a few problematic jokes that date the film tragically. And I had heard that the second movie is absolutely terrible.
Oh no! Because of that?
No.
Oh.
Well, maybe. I don't really know too much about it, but people were hyped because it was like, almost 20 years in the making of the sequel, and it was just like not.
When did it come out? The sequel?
Like 2019.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like supposed to be a big deal, and then people, I think, were just disappointed. But Will Ferrell's performance, though, I think I picked one of the best films to see a good Will Ferrell performance.
I just love Will Ferrell.
He was so good. He was so funny. He has like a ridiculous like white like hairstyle that he's got, like, I don't know what you call them, but basically like horns of hair that kind of go up. Like he looks kind of like a Renaissance painting.
I love that.
And he has a really like loud, annoying, abrasive voice. He kind of sounds like Lumpy Space Princess the whole time. And he just shouts at everybody, and it's so. I think he's like made the movie like even better than it was just because he was that character.
Can we just take a quick break right now and go watch it?
So you want to watch Zoolander right now? It's not that long. It's only like an hour 25.
Okay, we'll be right back. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but you could. I still have it though. I have the movie. I have it.
You have it.
Yeah, I
Physically?
do. I just have it.
He just has the movie.
I do.
Okay.
I didn't disclose whether or not I was able to find it on streaming services, but I have the film.
Oh, you have it.
Yeah.
You have it.
I only had mine for 48 hours.
Okay.
I have mine.
Oh, you do?
I have it.
Like, have you had it though?
Like, I got it and now I have it.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
I'm
You're
unaware of
dedicated.
this. I'm unaware of what we're talking about.
Well, I don't think I have much else to say about Zoolander now, but I would give it a recommend if you are into that sort of thing.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I'm interested. I honestly had no idea what it was about. It sounds really good.
A really hilarious parody of fashion, I guess, but Ben Stiller as Zoolander is like mildly irritating.
I mean, I was sold Like, if I wasn't already sold by Will Ferrell, I'm definitely sold by Owen Wilson.
Oh yeah,
love
he's like
Owen
the
Wilson.
other
Me
main
too.
character of the movie. So
Okay, Whitney, between Zoolander and Melinda, what are you going to watch first?
Probably Zoolander. I'm sorry, Melinda didn't sound that interesting to me.
It is really good. I just don't want to give anything away.
it sounded really interesting to me.
Thanks,
No,
Gabe.
it does sound interesting, but like, I don't know. I'll watch it.
Sure you will.
I will.
You'll have it, right?
I'll get it, and then I'll have it.
Okay.
I still don't know what that means.
Oh, you do.
You know what we mean.
There's a lot of winking.
Okay. So Whitney, is it time?
It's time.
It's time.
It's time to.
It's time to
get yourself a tan. Oh, man.
So grab the lotion and start the motion. It's time to get a tan. God damn it. I forget the end.
What is that?
Zoe 101. REJECTED rejected. Sorry.
This is embarrassing.
I'm sorry. It was just my entire life for a very long period of time.
Me too.
Whitney, what did you watch?
Okay. So the movie I watched was very difficult to find, and it's probably the weirdest movie I could have chosen. So I watched A Deadly Adoption. Do either of you know what this is?
No, that's not what I had a prediction, and that's not the one.
You did have a prediction. So Gabe guessed that I watched Semi-Pro because it co-stars Woody Harrelson,
And
who
it
was
was
like,
Face Off.
you said Semi-Pro.
No, it was Face Off. Those are two different Will Ferrell movies, if I'm not mistaken.
You sent me Semi-Pro because I didn't know what Semi-Pro was, and I looked it up.
But I didn't actually send you a link. I just said the name of the movie.
Yeah.
And
Then you said the name of Semi-Pro.
No,
Semi-Pro.
I said Face Off.
I will
promise.
get the receipts and I will post them
What?
on Twitter.
Get the receipts right now.
Okay.
Get the receipts.
We are taking a break so I can get the receipts.
Control F Face Off. What do I do if I'm wrong? What do I owe you? I'll also accept verbal shaming.
In researching, I think I accidentally confirmed which one you're definitely picking, but I'm not going to say it, and I'm not going to pick it. And then I said, OMG, why do you say that? Tell me what you think it is. I won't confirm or deny. And you said, but if you didn't pick it, you're going to want to change. And I said, no, I'm firm in my choice. And then he said, Semi-Pro, because it co-stars Woody Harrelson. And then I sent a surprise face.
So what's the movie? Wait, Face Off? I swear there's a Will Ferrell movie called Face Off, but there's also another movie called Face Off with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, and that's a very different movie. Which,
I'm going to search Face Off and see if you've ever sent it to me.
if Semi-Pro is Woody Harrelson and Will Ferrell, like, clearly am just, my memory is broken.
Yeah, Semi-Pro came out in 2008 and has Will Ferrell, Maura Tierney, Andre 3000, Woody Harrelson, Will Arnett.
Wow. Well, I was so sure that my life depended on that, so I'm surprised, but I will pay you $5 and I deserve to be shamed.
Thank you. I'm right. Gabe's wrong. That's what we got from this. Anyway.
Well, I'm still surprised you didn't pick it.
Yeah, because I didn't know when I first picked my movie, and after I picked my movie, I was pretty confident in my decision. So
Okay.
I
Firm
picked.
in your decision.
Yes.
You were firm in
I
your
was
decision.
firm.
What'd you pick, Whit? Wait.
So I picked A Deadly Adoption.
Right.
This is a Lifetime movie.
Oh, that would be hard.
Starring Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig. And it is not a comedy.
How is that not a comedy?
It is, I swear to God, it is a serious ass Lifetime movie with the most ridiculous plot and some of the worst acting I've ever
Wait,
seen.
when did this come out, did you say?
2015. It was definitely a pair. Like, it's not real. This couldn't have been a real work that these
This
two
doesn't
produced.
sound real.
But it was real. So,
Is it a prank?
it exists. I have it. So the plot of this movie, Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig are married, and they have a daughter named Sully.
Yeah.
And Kristen Wiig is pregnant with their second child, and they're having a party. I think it was Sully's birthday party, and she's standing on a dock, and Will Ferrell yells out and is like, wait, that dock is unsafe, get off of it. And she's like, oh, I'll be fine. And then she falls off the dock and loses the baby, which is very sad.
Whoa.
After that, Will Ferrell turns into a completely different person, and he refuses to go on a boat because it reminds him of his lost
It was a
baby.
dog.
I know. It has nothing to do with it, but he's like, we can't go in the water. And he's also like obsessive over Sully. She has diabetes, and he's constantly like, don't even look at sugar, and it's wild. Anyway, so they are looking to adopt. So they find a pregnant woman whose name is Bridget, and they're like, yo, we want your baby that's in your stomach. And she's like, okay, I don't have a home. And they're like, oh, move into our home. We have the space. So she moves in. Everything seems fine and dandy. She seems very nice. And then there is a scene where it slow motion zooms in on her. She picks up a magazine that has Will and Kirsten on it. I don't remember their character names. And he's an author, so they're on a magazine. And she looks at it, and then in slow motion, she rips off Kristen Wiig's face. And it drops to the ground and fades to black, which I assume would be a commercial on daytime TV.
I'm picturing this.
You're like, what the hell? Also, the girl who plays Bridget is Jessica Lowndes from 90210, which is one of my favorite teen shows. So I was so sold. So obviously something sketchy is going on. I am going to go into spoilers because it's a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
It's fine. Also, like, I need to go into spoilers because you need to know how ridiculous this got. So she's doing all these weird things. She's getting really close to Sully. She's getting close to everyone. So Kristen Wiig, her character, owns an organic food stand. Which, of course, because it's a Lifetime movie.
Yep.
And she runs it with her gay BFF, who also somehow is like a private investigator. He's not, but he acts like it. And he's like, he'll like go to a coffee shop and he's like, I just saw Bridget get out of this like weird truck and she like argued with this man and like, I don't know what's up. And is like full detective, like sees everything. And so Will Ferrell is an author. He is an author of financial help books. And so he's staying at home with Bridget, and there's like weird sexual tension. There's this scene where Bridget like goes into his office and is wearing like next to nothing and is like, do you have any sunscreen? And he's like, sunscreen? And she's like, sunscreen?
No way, just like that?
Yeah, and they go into a pantry to find the sunscreen, which they're like in a small closet, and she sees
both of them?
Yeah.
Just in there?
Yeah, and they're like, where could the sunscreen be? And they keep saying it like that, and then she sees it, and she hides it, so they're still looking for it, and she like pushes it behind something, and she's like, I don't know where the sunscreen is. And there's too many moments where
Are they 13?
like maybe.
Is this a Will Ferrell Saturday Night Live episode when he was as part of the cast? Because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, but it's like dead serious. Like there's no jokes. Like it's so funny.
Maybe it's
so
like supposed to come across as like
like
a joke. I don't know. The whole movie.
But if you added a laugh track, would everything be different?
Probably, yeah.
Wait, do movies have laugh tracks?
No,
I don't think that happens.
So.
But if you did.
Yeah.
So anyway, you find out that this girl is not who she says she is. Her name is actually Joni, and she knows Will Ferrell's character because she went on one of his book tours, and it shows a glimpse of this book tour, and it is literally a rock concert. I don't understand. He writes financial help books. And he's like a rock star. He has groupies. He's being swarmed by people. And this girl with her dyed hair and like her punk rock outfit approaches him, and then they sleep together. For some reason, he does not remember her face when she comes up and says she's Bridget. Anyway.
Because he's a dude.
Yeah, guess so. So they find out that she's not who she says she is. She's Joni. So when they find out, it's already too late because her plan is to steal Sully, and then she wants to like get ransom money from, I think his name's Robert. I'll stop calling him Will Ferrell, but Will Ferrell. And also wants to be with him, so she's like manipulating everything. And then there's a scene where she like confronts Kristen Wiig, and she's like, I hate you. I've hated you from the moment I met you. You and your stupid organic food stand.
No, not the food stand.
So funny. So then Kristen Wiig's character thinks that they ran off together, but they're not. Meanwhile, she's just like with her weird boyfriend and Sully, who's like dying because she's diabetic and doesn't have insulin. And then Robert tries to like save her, and she shoots him. She shoots him in the arm and then shoots him in the chest.
With insulin?
No, with a gun.
Oh.
A gun.
I was
So he
envisioning something different.
collapses. And she's like, oh, he's dead. What have I done? I've killed him. She goes, she tells Sully that her parents are dead. All this. She genuinely thinks she's dead. He's dead. So do we, because he just got shot twice and he's on the ground. Then suddenly we go back to him, and all of a sudden he's not bleeding anymore. And he gets up like he just got medical attention and he wasn't shot, and he's completely fine. And then he conquers his fear, and he gets on a boat and he goes to find Sully. And it's so funny. And the whole time, Bridget is just like, I'm your new mom now. Like, you have to listen to me. Like, this child is not going to be upset. She's just like, I'm your mom. Like, listen, like, your parents are dead. You're supposed to not care.
Wow.
And a really fun fact about this movie, it had a 10-cent budget.
What?
I'm just kidding. But it looks like it has a 10-cent budget.
Yeah.
And no one knows how to hold a gun.
How did they pay these actors to be in this movie?
I don't know.
Maybe I have a feeling they must have all been in agreement that it would be a really funny idea if they did this just to get it off their bucket list.
There was like an interview where Will Ferrell said it's like his favorite movie that he's ever done.
I feel like somebody lost a bet, and then that movie happened because of it.
I'm sure they had a lot of fun filming it.
Yeah.
If this movie had different actors, it would be a cheesy Lifetime movie. But because it was Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig, the whole time you're like, what is happening?
Were their performances at least good?
Like, it was like a Lifetime movie. Like, not really, but it's like as good as you can make that kind of script. You know what I mean? Like, the script is definitely like...
So they knew what they were doing,
sunscreen.
though.
Yeah, absolutely. They did not think that it was going to, like, win them an Oscar.
Oh, my gosh.
Like,
in between takes.
but it was so
blooper
funny.
reel.
Oh, if there's bloopers, I want them.
Did you
Yeah.
say that
I want
you
to have them.
purchased this film physically?
No,
Wait, so how did you obtain it?
I own it.
Oh,
Like, I have it.
like did you... Wait, so you have it the same way that I have mine?
Yeah,
I thought you said you couldn't find it.
She found it.
I couldn't.
Oh, okay. I thought
No,
you
like-
literally meant that like you had to like hunt that down and like get a copy into your home from Amazon.
No, like, the way you suggested that I get it, I couldn't find it in those locations that you suggested. I had to find it from somewhere a little sketchy, but now I have it.
I got mine from YouTube.
I
I
have
feel
it.
like Zoolander was probably on YouTube.
This one was not, and this one,
I don't think
I
that
tried-
movie should be anywhere. By the sounds of it.
I really want to see it.
I tried to watch it on the Lifetime website. I looked at every streaming service. I tried to buy a DVD, which doesn't exist. But I got it somehow.
You should have just tweeted to Will Ferrell and been like, I need a copy.
Please, I need to see this. Like, it should be out there more. Like, more people need to watch this
I
movie.
feel like if it was marketed, people would have loved it, like been on top of that with that
it
cast.
was so
Only if it was funny, though. Like, really funny.
Like, I think I made the best decision in movie picking, but I also think that there are so many Will Ferrell movies that we need to do this exact same concept again.
yeah.
Like, there's
It's
so
true.
many I haven't seen. I
Yeah.
want to watch Semi-Pro because Woody Harrelson is my favorite.
My sister loves that movie.
Never seen it.
Me either.
I will one day.
Gabe, do you remember that Will Ferrell used to do those shorts? And I forget for what online presence. But it was him and the landlord. But I think his landlord was his actual daughter, like infant child. Like 2 years old. So he used to be like, Pearl, I just need another few weeks and I'll get you the rent. And she's like, I want my money. He's like, I know. But I'm gonna need like a little more time. Can you give me a little more time? She says, well, can I have 4 beer? No, you cannot have beer. You're an alcoholic. You have a problem.
Yeah, I do remember
This
that.
sounds so familiar.
It's funny.
That
Pearl
seems
the
like
landlord.
a very COVID thing to do, but it was not COVID. That's from like legitimately 10 years ago.
And it was so funny.
They should have made more.
They should have. Maybe if it was his daughter, they should do the same thing, but now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Will Ferrell should have made homemade short films during quarantine.
What the heck?
Does he have a TikTok?
Potentially.
I mean, what's TikTok? I'm not 5. Just kidding. I have
Does
TikTok.
he have social media? I feel like I should have checked this out.
We're all like, let's just go look on our phones and see if he has an online presence. Yeah.
Anyway, that concludes our Will Ferrell segment.
Mm-hmm.
I love Will Ferrell.
Me
Yeah,
too.
This was a good appreciation of his talent.
Other movies I like, again, Blades of Glory. Again, Step Brothers.
Step Brothers made me cry.
The Catalina wine mixer. I love Step Brothers.
I'd like to rewatch it when I'm not like an emotional 12-year-old.
I don't know. I cried at Bridesmaids when I watched Bridesmaids.
Elf is
Elf is
really
good.
really good.
Elf is so good.
Elf is like so good. Like I can't.
I want to fight anyone who says that Elf is overrated because it's not. It's the epitome of Christmas.
You're not wrong.
I'm mad.
I remember like every December in high school, every single class there would always be some class where we watched Elf, but we always only watched the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, because then you went to your next
Yeah.
class and
Yeah.
watched the first 45 minutes again.
Yeah, and they would never do a part 2. And I'm like, literally, what was the point? Like, that happened so many times.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. They'd always just like, we're going to watch a movie in class today. And it's like, all right, but we're going to like just get to the climax and then we're going to have to leave.
Yeah, and then the next time it's like, okay, back to normal. Christmas is over.
Yeah, actually, every time in elementary school, we used to watch The Sound of Music when we were like kind of getting towards the end of the year. And it's a long movie.
It's like 3 hours.
Yeah, so it took like a friggin' week to finish, but we only had music like twice a week.
Oh.
So it was hard to get that movie in. And none of us ever really grasped the whole Nazi part of it.
It's really great way to like fill class time though.
I mean, it was music.
I feel like that teacher must have been like, this is a great idea. I can just sit here and chill.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I took away from that entire thing.
You get a lot of singing in this episode. I love it.
Give me cues.
All right.
Uh-oh,
So
it's happening.
for the final segment of this episode, my favorite part, I'm going to say that every time because it's fun.
I get nervous every time.
Now, I'm going to ask Rachel and Gabe a question that they don't know about. I'd never know how to word that. Listening back to the episodes, I'm like, I did not speak English when I said that.
A question that Rachel and Gabe have not been made privy.
Oh, I didn't know Shakespeare was in the room.
Neither did I, but here he is.
Okay, I have 2 to pick for. I'm going to pick this one. Okay, this one's kind of relevant. I'm going to make it more relevant. All right. Will Ferrell approaches you.
Already happy. Oh my God, Will Ferrell, hey.
Hey, I like you. You look like you have a good vision for television.
I do.
So, I want to be in a half-hour sitcom,
Okay.
but I don't like any of them out here. So, you're going to make a sitcom right now.
Okay.
Pitch it to me. Whatever it is, I'm going to star in it. What is it going to be?
All right, so we're in my office at work, and I work at a call center.
I've seen this. It's The Office.
Oh God.
I'm just
okay.
kidding. I'm just
You're
kidding.
right. No,
I was already in The
I
Office.
didn't like where that was going. You were in The Office, Will Ferrell.
I was.
Oh.
I met John Krasinski, and he's hot.
Is that the only reason you went on The Office, Will
Yes.
Ferrell? Okay, actually, I feel like if I'm just gonna come up, Gabe, do you just want to like collab on this answer?
No. He does this
I'm still
10 years
thinking.
apart. He comes to
Oh.
he goes to you in 2020. He goes to Gabe in 2030.
But he didn't
because
like
he
my
likes you.
answer?
No, he loved your answer, and he just wants to feel that rush again.
He can come
wants
back
to
to
feel
me.
young again. No, but you're
Dead.
gone.
I
You're
died.
not dead.
I died.
You've just moved on to bigger and better things. Now you're producing
There's
movies.
nothing bigger and better than Will Ferrell.
Oh, but there is. You just haven't met it yet. So
I
now
disagree.
Will Ferrell comes to you and he's like, I need someone to make a TV show. And you're like, go to my friend Gabe. Because Gabe's homeless and he needs a job.
But he's really funny.
He's really good at this.
Okay, This is really hard, Whitney. Are you going to answer this too?
No, he didn't come to me. No, I like where you were going with your call center.
No, I mean, that was it. That was the whole idea.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Okay, so we're in a call center, and he's a team manager. He's the manager of a call center. Do you see this working? I see it working.
Yeah, he did that.
Yep. And he,
I feel like this could be so good for any like role. Like I want him to be like the owner of a hair salon, and I would watch that. That's my answer. Watch that too.
But
owner of a hair salon.
Okay, fine. Manager at a call center.
Great.
I think it'd be hilarious. I don't need to go into more depth than that.
Is there like a romance? Are there friendships? What are the other characters?
Well, he's hilarious.
Like? What's the plot?
There's no plot.
So it's like Seinfeld. We love that.
Yeah. Show about nothing. Yeah. Except he's the manager and he's funny, and he also gets to yell back at customers sometimes because he's the manager.
Is he like a Michael Scott, or is he like?
No, he's a little bit more under control than that, but he's funny all the time.
Okay. So more funny, less workplace harassment.
Yeah, but a little workplace harassment.
You need a little dash.
Yeah, just a little bit, but like it's not totally unwanted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's my final answer.
That's a good answer. I support it.
Okay,
Gabe.
I've come up with my idea, but it's not fully original. But I think this would get picked up and hopefully not get canceled.
Okay.
So Will Ferrell would be the owner of a funeral home.
I love it.
And he would be a very honest Christian man. And he gets caught up in a lot of illegal shit and has to cremate the bodies for the local like drug cartel people.
I love this.
However, this show has already been done a million times, and usually the funeral home is just like a side part of the crime show. Also, there's the show on HBO 6 Feet Under, which I'm pretty sure is mostly what I just said, except that it's not a sitcom. That's a drama.
Oh my gosh.
So this is a comedy. Good idea.
I am going to send this episode to Will Ferrell so hard. Like everywhere I can. Absolutely. And I'm going to be like, listen, this is a podcast about you. We have a podcast about Will Ferrell and a song about John Hamm. So
if Will Ferrell ever makes like a Cameo account, just pay whatever he's charging and just say, don't even make me a cameo. Just listen to this podcast we made about you and then send a 30-second response back or correspondence, however you wish.
Will Ferrell we'll add you to just love us.
Follow me on OnlyFans, Will Ferrell.
When he won't even let me follow her OnlyFans.
I don't have an OnlyFans.
It's okay if you have a secret one. I totally support that.
Gotta get that bank.
Well, I hope Will Ferrell
Please pick up these TV shows.
But then give us a writing credit. Just a little one.
Is there a Will Ferrell TV series or something that we haven't seen?
Other than being in The Office, I don't know if he was in anything else.
My Dreams.
Is he in... Wait, I might be confusing it with another actor, but... Was he in... What's that show called? The one about the president? And I feel like Will Ferrell was in it. I might be tripping completely, but I think Will Ferrell was in that show. I feel like I noticed that on his IMDb.
Okay, when I look up TV shows, I see Saturday Night Live, The Office, Eastbound and Down.
The West Wing is what I'm thinking of. Was he in The West Wing?
Not coming up yet.
He was in a show called The Spoils of Babylon.
He was in Last Man on Earth? I didn't know that. Yes, I did. I remember that. That was really funny. Sorry. Hypaspace?
He was in Hercules, the animated series. Oh, there's already so many Will Ferrell movies that I'm seeing here that I want to see that I've never seen. So we definitely we should make this like a quarterly thing.
I am ready.
Every 3 months we all watch a Will Ferrell movie until we've made our way through all of them.
Done.
Okay, well, I think it's completely absurd that I thought he was in The West Wing, which is a political drama.
You love political dramas.
You really do.
Like, maybe.
You should be in one.
No, you love them.
Whenever I think of them, I'm just like, I don't wanna. But then, like, when I watch one, I'm like,
Yeah.
But like Gabe and I lived together for like 4 years.
Until they
long
tragically
time.
divorced.
Yeah, we had a falling out and now we hate each other.
Yeah.
But we lived together up until like 2 months ago, and he was always watching political dramas. And when you say that he likes them, he's like, no, I don't. But you're always watching them.
Classic dad move.
Yeah.
Gabe's a dad.
But, you know, and I can't say it, but there's a show. Okay, this is what I'm going to say. This is all I'm going to say. This is what got me into political dramas, and I'm not ashamed.
Oh,
I
I know.
probably should be. But there's a show that once existed that is extremely good and is one of the best shows I've ever seen, but you're not allowed to watch it anymore.
Yeah. Sometimes the art is good and the artist is trash. So.
Well, I mean, everyone else involved, absolutely stellar job. And they still persevered through it and were able to finish the series, which I don't think they would have this day and age, even though it was only a little while ago. And the conclusion wasn't great, but they really tried, and I can appreciate that. If you weren't into it then, I don't think you need to be into it now, but there are other new shows that I'm sure will be more relevant as time goes on, and political dramas are good.
Next episode, we all watch a political drama. Just kidding. I don't want to.
A whole ass series.
Madam Secretary.
I'll watch the rest of Veep.
Just kidding.
Does Parks and Rec count? That's political.
Yeah, it's political.
I watched it all. That is the one I choose.
I saw the first 3 seasons. I think I lost access to American Netflix, so I couldn't finish it.
Oh, it's on Prime.
I have Prime.
Guess what you're doing later. Well, does that wrap it up for today?
Yes.
I think so. Otherwise, we're going to ramble forever.
I love Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell, if you listen, I love you.
Please, I love you too. I love you more than Rachel loves you. Just kidding.
Okay, she is kidding. Well, thank you for listening to another episode of Blanket Fort Books.
I hope you enjoyed your stay.
I did enjoy my stay. My name's Rachel, and you can find me at Abrams Records on Twitter.
And my name's Gabe, and my Twitter is BoardSeed.
I am Whitney, and my Twitter is Wit and Wisdoms, and my YouTube channel is Wit and Wisdom. Please subscribe. And also, our official Twitter is at Blanket Fort Books. And Blanket Fort Book. I'm so sorry.
One book.
Don't get confused.
Thanks for listening.
Catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.